Good intro. We're already recording.
Oh, it seems like
Brady froze.
Okay. Is it still going, or did you stop it?
No, this is organic.
Okay. Welcome back to the Small But Effective podcast.
So
We're
small.
all here. We got John, Lux, myself, Brady, and we have a new guest today. Brennan is joining us. Yeah.
I guess
Brennan is a
Yay.
I prefer to be
We can
more
get
of
rid
a
of him.
permanent member, but
No,
whatever you
he's not,
say.
I guess he decided to become permanent party this week. This is our first Discord recording we are doing. We're not we have a nice video chat going so we can all feel like we're together. But we're trying it over Discord.
I'm hugging them over the phone right now.
It's true.
You're gonna have to sanitize that phone later.
He has it on a daily sanitation schedule already.
Safety first, buddy. Safety first.
Safety second, but
So, what has everyone been up to since our last fun recording session? Brennan's entirely new. Maybe, Brennan, do you want to do a little intro?
What have you been doing since the beginning of your life?
well, an intro, huh?
To yourself, yeah.
Well, my name is Brennan, also known as Swanee Rivers. I enjoy long walks on the beach and trips to Boston with Lux. That's about me in a nutshell.
I enjoyed our trip to Boston also. And for those of you who don't know, which is anyone that's listening to this that isn't part of our group, we went to Boston for the Penny Arcade Expo because we're geeks that way.
Fantastic time. I highly encourage everyone to go if you are on the East Coast. If not, go to the West Coast one. Or if you're not on the West Coast, go to the Prime one. And this, yeah.
Or you can go to Texas or Australia, or you can go to the Unplugged one that's going to be in Philadelphia in November, and so on, and so on, and so on.
Would you like us to refer to you as Brennan or Swampy Rivers?
It's just for the record, it is Swanee Rivers, but you
I was
can
thinking
call
Swanee.
Me, you can call me whatever you usually call me.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, because a good chance we would not be calling you Swanee Rivers.
It's that name has been retired since college. So, and marriage. I should say marriage. Yes.
So recently, last weekend, I took a wonderful trip down to Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, the heart of Amish territory. It's quite enjoyable.
The birthplace of Brady's family.
Yes.
Brady,
But I was offered dowries. We're gonna jump right into thing here.
Wait a minute, you were offered?
No. Is a dowry, is that something the bride offers?
From what I
The man?
understood, it was payment to take this woman off the family's hands.
A
Is that
dowry?
not correct?
A dowry is the money, goods, or estate that a woman brings to her husband. So
Ooh.
the guy's getting paid it, correct?
That sounds right to
That's
me.
kind of how I always saw it, too. Like in seeing it in movies like The Quiet Man, where, Mary Kate Danaher, her big thing was that she wasn't going to get her dowry. And even though the guy didn't want it, it was like, oh, well, that's part of my pride. That's what I'm bringing to the relationship. So you have to take this. And if we don't get it from that family, then it's no marriage whatsoever. And it was like this big deal until the end and stuff like that. Highly recommend that old movie with John Wayne. But yeah, the dowries I thought was it's a little bit kind of to get them started, but it comes from the woman. I've never heard it come from the man.
Is there a word, or is there actually something opposite where the man pays for the woman? Or is that
Marriage?
just prostitution?
Like slavery? I
Pretty
don't
sure
know.
it's called marriage.
Yes.
I'd like to buy this woman from you. Yes, I brought this crate of gold.
Oh, I got you. Well, because, see, I was offering goods/services for a woman, so I guess.
Did
So you were on the That's not a dowry. That's prostitute.
I'm pretty sure,
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha.
Or
I
mail
gotcha,
order
okay.
bride, possibly. You sure this was Lancaster and not Russia?
No, it was Lancaster. But also, I was going for the whole arranged marriages, and why don't they just do that more in the U.S.? All I see is it happens in India.
Well, because the fail rate of the marriage is just so overwhelmingly high.
Is it?
If
But I
we
think
outlawed divorce, I think it would probably work.
Wait, it's higher than the average population?
I would say yes. I don't have any specific numbers on that, but I feel like there's a
We could
reason
take
that it just
sampling
really
of our
never caught on.
3 out of the 4 people are married, and none of our marriages have failed.
Not yet.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, Brett is so optimistic.
Beating the odds.
It's got to keep that. You got to keep the numbers in the positive here.
Awesome. Well, I feel like, I don't know. Would you guys be pro arranged marriages?
If she was hot,
None of us has or had children yet. What if you had kids and you came upon the situation of creating an arranged marriage?
Dude, I can't even take care of my own life.
mm-hmm.
No,
So
I'm not
you're
asking about kids.
So you're asking if for like our own progeny, if we would be okay with them having an arranged marriage, or if like if it came up like, hey, we'd like to arrange this. How far in advance? I mean, they don't know each other at all yet.
No, well, here, let me look. Because arranged marriage, isn't it like when they're super young? At least in the olden times. Didn't they do it when they were super young and they...
Right, that's what I thought. But they would just randomly come up to me. I don't even think they have to be super young, actually, but they randomly come up to me and say, like, hey, I know your family. You do pretty well. How about we hook you up, your son up with my daughter, or something like that? No, I wouldn't be down with that. I'm much more into it's up to the kids.
I'd have to. I concur with that.
I don't think so. I think Brady's got the right idea. We need to go backwards.
The concept to me, I don't have any issue with for people having arranged marriage if it works out. Yeah, it's just a different thing, I guess. But there's a lot of people that can have a relationship, I think, that will work out, though. Just kind of grow into each other, and especially if it's an accepted thing at that time. You've been socialized into it. You grew up with it, whatever. This is just the way things are. But for us, I would never work, I feel, or would rarely work out just because we're so socialized into this sort of culture.
So what if, so you can look at it in this way, if, say you're growing up and you have an arranged marriage that's already done and they say at a certain age, blah, 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 you're going to get married to this person, think about the focus you could put on other things instead of pursuing a potential partner.
Ooh.
I don't know.
See, I enjoyed the chase. That's just how it was.
I don't feel the chase was all that intrusive in my life, though, either.
No.
Well, obviously, I'm just saying, like...
Brady's just trying to free up your time so you can do whatever you want.
I appreciate that.
One less thing to worry about. I get where he's coming from.
But one more. But what about on the other side of the coin? What about the doubt about a successful arrangement?
If you don't like it and you think it's not going to work out.
What do they do? I mean, in an arranged marriage, like, if the two people literally despise each other.
Well, if you're expected to procreate, you probably have your minimum number of sexual encounters to produce children. And then you're probably just like roommates.
I was thinking murder-suicide, actually, but okay.
I mean...
Maybe this could be something that if we do end up having any listeners that know anyone or are themselves in an arranged marriage, could leave us a comment on the small but effective Facebook page.
I'm down with that.
Oh, man.
I think rather than having 4 individuals who have absolutely no idea about it,
speculate.
I just think maybe just someone out there.
That hot drop in.
Someone in the interwebs.
It'd be interesting. There's a lot of different angles in it, but also you could go from the angle of, like, what if you grow up and you're not that anyone should just go for physical attractiveness, but you're going to be in an arranged marriage and maybe it works out for the better because you're just a little tough on the old eyes.
I feel like regardless of the situation, that the successful outcome could be there no matter what.
Yeah. All right, noted.
So who were you trying to buy, Brady? Just
We can't name drop anyone. Oh, but back to it. So my male version of dowry that I was trying to do, I was trying to see how many sheep I would have to give for this potential person, and he asked how many I had to give, and the mother just asked for 4, and I was like,
sold.
I'll double that. I have a lot to give. But then it turned into, he told me he needed a new roof, and I said, well, you're in luck. I recently have been roofing. So he was like, all right, do that. And I was like, you want some shingles laid down? He was like, well, if you're paying for it, I want terracotta.
Ooh.
Wait, this is a true story. Like this was like a marriage discussion work barter.
Oh yeah, it was.
Where did this come
was,
from?
yeah.
Like where? Like this was something. Did you
Pennsylvania.
go there with that intent already?
Of course.
Anywhere Brady goes, it's completely
Wait.
driven by
Anywhere I
females.
go, I intend to buy.
Brady went to Wise R Us.
I'm so confused by this. Like, how does I don't know anyone that's outside of the cultural circle of that kind of a situation. It's like, oh yeah, so I was in this situation recently where I had to decide on if I wanted to buy my wife, and it was in this country. Actually, it was in the middle of Pennsylvania. What?
And it
No,
was-
well, I mean, it wasn't all too serious. It was more jokingly than anything. But
It sounded pretty
mean-
specific.
I mean, I was.
Excuse me, sir. Is your daughter for sale?
I saw your sign as I was passing by.
All right.
Good dowry for good man.
Yeah,
I bring
but
many sheep.
I could. I told. He's known for many years that I have sheep to offer, which they go for a pretty penny a pound. So.
He's been coveting your sheep for years. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah,
Water.
this sounds like
This is
something
more
for the
about
books.
your sheep.
Clearly. I don't
But
know.
yeah,
man.
that's my fun vacation that I was up to.
That's what you've been up to. How about you, John?
What have I been up to? Well, homeowner joy story. I probably shouldn't tell you this in case somebody figures out where I live. I might need to sell this house.
They already know.
But, well, you guys, we all live in the same area. And it rains every fucking day where we live. And so the back wall, we have a finished basement, and the back wall is leaking a little bit.
Mm.
So the carpets, we have an issue in there with like moisture, so we run the dehumidifier. But the carpet was actually wet the other day. So today I took out some drywall to see if I could find where the leak was.
Ooh.
You took out drywall.
Oh no, that equals you didn't find a moldy mess, did you?
Someone.
No, I didn't find a moldy mess. I
Oh,
did
that's
not. I did destroy about a half sheet of drywall.
Eh.
And accomplished nothing other than to find the wall was dry back there.
Yep, that's about
Go
how it works.
drywall, working
Oh.
as intended.
So, oh, that's why it's called drywall.
And then I decided to reward ourselves with a canoe trip. So that's what we
Yeah.
did right before the podcast.
So what you did is instill bad behavior in your wife, so she will stop dumping water on the floor, so you take her canoeing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like,
Okay.
dude, I'm going to get you out of here because you're making a mess.
All right.
So I don't know what we're going to do about the water issue, though. I might do some digging. Lay some pipe. try to
French
divert
French
water away
drain
from the
or a new
house.
French
Yeah,
drain
French
around the house.
kind of thing. Yeah.
So do you just have a giant hole in one of your walls now?
Yes. I'll show you guys. When we're done.
I can.
It's
I can
well
recap
placed,
that.
though.
Get in it?
I'm not worried about it.
It's a well placed hole.
Well placed.
Yes. Yeah. Those are
Do
my
your
favorite
cats
kind
get
of
in it?
holes.
They can't. No.
So many comments, just
Yes, yes.
so
Like
many
it's
thoughts.
only an inch of space between the drywall
Giggity.
and the cement.
We're gonna need more than one.
Oh, okay.
So, home demolition. Bottom line is rent.
Hmm.
Don't
No.
buy a house.
Then you can't make your own holes in the drywall.
Well, you can. You just got to cover them up and hope the landlord doesn't find
Hmm.
out.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's a lot of toothpaste to fill those voids.
Okay.
Well, I guess what I've been up to is, I bought a car, which was fun, and I test drove about 12 or 13 cars in that process because I like driving cars because cars.
Cars are good. And for all of you who don't know, Lux usually purchases a car about every 4 to 6 months. So
It's not quite that bad, but
he
it's
just
close.
drives a lot of cars, so
Yes.
if you ever see this guy coming to your dealership, you should just walk away if you're a
just
car
expect
salesman.
him to not buy something.
I am just
Yeah.
messing with you totally. Yeah. Well, I mean, like different dealership experiences, and so I was going big in my different dealerships. So, you guys know some of these stories. Like, I would go to the Porsche dealership, and they're like, "Yeah, here's the keys. You and your wife go have fun now. You kids, don't stay up too late. Dealership closes at 5, so just be back by then." And you go to the BMW dealership, and like, "Oh no, this car. Oh well, we're gonna have to ride with you. It's very, very powerful." And the one dealership wouldn't even let me take the one car out because it was raining. Because it's very, very powerful car. You can't take it out. It's raining.
Can't take it out. It won't handle the rain.
Ask them if you can drive it in the store.
Drive in the store.
I made the statement. It's like, well, you're making the decision easy for me if I can't take it out in the rain ever. As John pointed out, it's been raining a lot lately.
Right. It rains where we live. We live in the ocean.
So I did buy a new car, and as a result, though, I've been doing my cruising. So I bought a used car, about 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. It was a Porsche Cayman S, and it was gently used. It was a 2007. It had 27,000 miles, and I got it for a really good price. And I used to just go on drives just for it. I just look for back roads or anything else and just kind of cruise. Well, now I've coupled that with audiobooks. And so I went on a nice 44-mile drive yesterday and just did probably some driving I probably shouldn't have been doing at speeds with curves and stuff, but they're back roads. The
audiobook.
But the audiobook was great. Now I have memories of the audiobook that are directly related to the turn I was on, or the little bit of front wheel liftoff or something like that. And so I remember key points. I've coupled that visual spatial thing with memories of the book, which is really fascinating for a filing process. That audiobooks are just, I love audiobooks. I got into them when I started running again earlier this year, and now I'm doing that with driving and wasteless use of gas and emissions. It's a beautiful thing.
Carbon footprint, baby.
I'd recommend the Bobiverse books on audiobooks. They're I believe they have text versions also, but the We Are Bob, We Are Legion, We Are Bob, and there's a second one for We Are Many.
Right how Baba was going to go.
What's that?
I was thinking Star Wars reference when you said Baba.
No, We Are Bob, and I think I went. But then the third book is coming out this week, actually, so I'm looking forward to the end of the trilogy. But it's a fascinating book where they took somebody from this time period, and he froze his brain after he had sold like his software company or something. Like he had this insurance policy that he put out where if he dies, they will freeze his brain, and then in the future they will have the technology to bring him back, which is the rumors they did with, I think, Walt Disney. That's the rumor, at least. But so he dies right after, of course, coincidentally, right after he signs this thing, and they freeze his brain, but they replicate his mind. They couldn't bring him back, and they kind of turn him into an artificial intelligence and put him in a probe that has 3D printers where you can self-replicate, create more Bobs, more probes, and expand out. But, of course, humans got in the way and tried to destroy themselves during that time period, and he's kind of saving them. But it's very, very interesting kind of concept with tons of 80s, 90s, and early 2000s references. It's very pop culturally kind of on it. Definitely would recommend it. And now I'm doing Ready Player One.
Ooh.
Oh,
Do you think?
narrated by Will Wheaton.
Oh, there you go. Do you think there's a room somewhere where they just have a bunch of frozen people / brains?
I do.
Do
Absolutely.
You?
I think those people / brains paid a lot of money to be in that room, too.
Yeah.
Yep, and I think that's all for naught.
Yeah.
Didn't Michael Jackson get froze or something?
I don't know.
Like, isn't the thing because the ice crystals damage the cells that when you thaw, you're basically going to be useless
Well, and
anyway.
plus it depends. I mean, they think we store memory as a chemical kind of neuronal structure or something like that, as far as how we actually file things. But then there's the electrical activity aspect. How do you reinitiate the electrical activity that is in the neurons and everything else? Although there are frogs that can have their bodies frozen and they decrease their metabolism and everything, and they completely freeze and then thaw. It's like Siberia or something like that, and come back to life essentially as like after their mummified, frozen state. So I guess there is some potential there, but I don't know from a brain activity and actual memory.
Right, if you'll be there or not.
I think the key to success is just to sustain the DNA enough so that they can just grow a new me in a petri dish.
Yeah, but you're going to need the memories.
But it won't have your life.
Well, I don't think I need the memories though. It's going to be a different me, but
a different you that shares the same genetic defects that you have now.
Yeah, I think
it's an interesting concept. I know that I've looked into this a little bit, and there are some R&D guys that like do the body cam thing, like what they're making the cops do now, where every so many seconds it takes a picture, which is supposed to like help replicate the, this is where you've been, this is what you did, to try and like as a soft beginning for replicating memory.
Like 50 First Dates with Adam Sandler.
Yes.
Right.
I looked up something. It says they were performing the procedure on pigs with a 90% success rate, but they would freeze them, and then 2 hours later they would pump blood back in and resuscitate them.
So this is
time period,
so we're talking cryogenics and like space flight. These are like the no-brainer things from sci-fi that actually do need to occur. Faster than light would be fantastic, but at least getting at least getting up to 0.3 or 0.5 light speed, and cryogenics in order to keep people fresh whenever they arrive. I think those are necessary parts of space travel. So it's going from sci-fi to sci-now. Is that the term? But it's no longer sci-future.
Lux is dropping bars over here.
Yeah, it's really some of that stuff is real and occurring, but I don't know.
Very primitive.
Definitely, which makes me so mad because I want to see it.
Look, I want to be frozen.
Yeah, I don't know though, because that doesn't work with my life philosophy. My philosophy is not to care about anything, because my life began, and then it's going to last a very short time, and then it's going to end. And so, because it's going to end, it's meaningless. So the meaning is whatever I decide. So if it didn't end, now I have all this void of future to fill with something. I don't have a plan for that.
Is it very important
to you? I can't
live
forever. I have to die.
Is it very important to you to not care?
It is very important.
Do you care greatly about not caring?
I care so much about not caring.
It's like every other philosophy. It's hypocritical.
It's very fragile. Don't mess with it.
I think whoever listened to that's going to have to listen to it about 3 more times and maybe even write it down once to understand exactly what John just said.
Well, I started the audiobook, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And it's a book originally, but it is kind of like that. And it's based on, though, we only have so many resources of things to give a fuck about. So if you give too many fucks, you just spread too thin, and then you start worrying that you're giving a fuck too much, and it just goes on and on. But it's obviously humorous, but it's repackaging of Buddhist principles, realistically.
Just with swear words.
Yep.
Buddhist repack with adult language.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, disclaimer. We're going to have to put like a rating at the beginning of this.
To freeze someone with magic spells.
Oh,
nice.
I saw Frozen. It was glorious.
I couldn't get into it. Too much singing.
Really?
Singing is the best part.
Let me stop us from getting into this conversation right now.
Why?
Well, those who may listen to this podcast may not want to talk about Frozen.
Those that listen to this podcast are amazing people. And we appreciate each and every one, possibly two of them.
Yes, yes.
That's right.
And you can thank me later for stopping that conversation. You know?
I don't know. I think.
It's-
Well, those that listen, if you wanted to hear the rest of this conversation, please leave a comment on the.
Oh yeah,
Facebook.
leave a comment on Facebook, YouTube, and/or SoundCloud.
I will contest Brennan, and I will say that now they're left wanting.
Yeah.
well, that's just we'll talk about it next time, but we won't. So just come back.
We need to.
Just keep coming
Like
back
Traumatic childhood all over again.
on the pretense that we will talk about it next time.
we can talk about Frozen, not this time.
We don't want to blow our wad early. We need to
No,
keep a
no.
little bit for the future.
We'll have to update our pictures with Brennan
No, nobody
After
wants
this.
to see me.
since he's been permanent party. Oh, you're gonna be famous now.
I don't know if
Mhm.
people.
We're going to shotgun your face all over the internet.
You are exposing
come out-
yourself to billions of people right now.
I often expose myself, but I haven't come out from under my rock in years since I was famous. So
Huh?
I used to be famous once upon a time.
Almost famous.
Spoiler alert, Michael Jackson didn't die. He's Brennan.
Oh, that reminds me. I thought about this just a little bit ago. So if Michael Jackson is frozen and they bring him back out and then they thaw him and he makes an album and stuff, instead of calling it Thriller, could they call it Chiller?
Oh, I see what you did there.
Thanks
Mic
for reminding
drop.
me on that callback, John.
Lux just threw his headset.
Yeah.
Boom.
So Brennan recently got a puppy.
Oh gosh,
Oh.
I have obtained
A
a rather.
biological alarm clock.
Oh yes, sleep is non-existent in my life, and
This is good birth control right here.
it is. And don't get me wrong, my fur baby is the most fantastic thing in the world. But 5:45 a.m. comes very quickly, and it's just awful.
My fur baby is the
But-
best thing in the world, but I hate its guts.
But
I
it's
do hear
just
people
awful.
talk about children that way often.
Yeah. He's a little Saint Bernard, not so little anymore. But he's wonderful.
He's adorable.
He is.
So
He
fun.
looks like a puppet. He doesn't look
That's-
real.
That's what he's got going for him.
But I'm glad he's yours.
Yeah.
I would like to
Yes.
play with him and keep him for a minute and give him back.
I mean, you could play with him for more than a minute, but
Ooh, business opportunity. Rent a puppy.
Well, I already need to look
actually,
into rent a car. Like,
I'm almost 100% sure that something along those lines is going on with ASPCA's. I don't know if they'll get mad at me for saying that, but across the United States are actually letting people take their rescue dogs on walks.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're just letting you sign out, quote unquote, sign out a dog to take it on a walk.
I want to
And-
be a dog owner for half an hour.
well,
and
maybe
it's-
a try
I mean,
before you
I feel
buy
like
it.
There's no downside. It's good for the dog.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it
Good
gets
for the person.
It's money for the ASPC, whatever. A.
A
Is
lot-
there another
a lot
A
of-
there?
a lot of.
I want to
those
let everyone
organizations-
know we're not funded by the ASPCA.
There is another A. I knew it.
But
We're not funded by anybody.
I mean, if you think about it, it's a great thing for really all parties involved. So even the dog.
Yeah,
So
but
I think
I do look at that though as a it's like a test drive.
Ooh.
It could be
Bringing it
could
back
be.
to cars, I guess. But yeah, it's a test drive. You're like,
You can
how
get really
does this
deep
dog?
with it, though.
Yeah, how does this dog work with me? Am I bonding with it? Do I have synergy? Is it
Well,
is it a total
want to be
jerk and
part
it's
of
going
my
to try to
clan?
bite and eat me?
Well, if you think about it that way too, it can help that dog become socialized with many
Mhm.
different people. And a lot of dogs that go into shelters like that or come from various backgrounds. You never know. So
Or-
it could. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's like dating.
Yeah. Except
dating with
furrier,
Well,
but not in all instances.
So Lux is no longer welcome.
While you're walking it, do you
Was it
have
gonna-
to sing "In the Arms of an Angel" song?
oh,
No,
God, no.
You
Oh, I'm so
had to do
depressed
that.
now.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Uh,
Too much
speaking-
imagery.
I remember in the first episode you spoke about brown bear. Now brown bear has two labs, and he makes his dogs watch the commercials with the sad music on to remind them how good they have it. So, to see all those
God, I
sad
hope that's
animals-
really true.
It is true. You can't make this stuff up about Brown Bear, and I pray that our listeners get to at least hear his voice sometime in their
Brown
lives,
Bear's
because
guest star.
Have
Yes.
the privilege, nay, the honor.
it's amazing, because if those of you,
Brown Bear was briefly our logo.
and
He
I think
was, yeah.
that may return someday in a better fashion, but you could just imagine those who know him, just him sitting his dogs down and telling them,
Look at this. Look how good you have
"You
it.
have it good, dogs." But yeah, it's another fantastic.
I have to scream and yell and turn the TV off every time one of those commercials comes on.
They're so depressing.
They're very depressing.
Yeah, I don't feel like crying. So
Makes me sad. I just want to yell at the camera people, like, why did you just record this?
See, I'm actually
Sad,
rewinding with.
suffering animal. What'd you do to help? Oh, we took video footage.
We're helping in our own way.
Difference.
I'm sorry. I just imagine Brady. You're sitting there in the other room or sitting on the couch watching TV, and it comes on. He just starts yelling and swearing and throwing things and changing the channel. We're like, "Dude, what just happened?"
It is every time.
I'm taking it very literally right now, and it is hilarious.
It sounds bad, but like, because those commercials come on, I just change the channel.
Oh, I
And
do
it's
too.
Like,
I do
for
too.
50 cents a day, you could help a small child. Those commercials don't bother me as
No,
much
well,
as animals.
That's what
that brings up
DVR
a
is
good
for.
point. That brings up a good point, though. It's something like 9 out of 10 people would help a homeless dog rather than a homeless person.
Really?
Yes.
Does that make us terrible people?
I
don't
think
know.
it does, because what just went through my head was I could adopt the dog, but I think it'd be really neat to skin the homeless person and make it.
Wait. What?
Is that bad? I feel like that's bad.
Did you say skin the homeless person?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that I reiterate that for emphasis.
For everyone listening, there is a hole under one of John's carpets in his house where he keeps his homeless people. But technically, they're not homeless anymore. So,
Homeless. They get to live there. They have it good.
Does it put the lotion on its skin?
Right. Very well moisturized and exfoliated.
No, there's no hole. He just throws them in the boiler room in the basement.
Just lock 'em up.
I'm gonna suggest we move on.
I think
We'll edit that out.
We don't have the ability. The technology broke. Oh, okay. Something I'm mad about. All right, since we're talking about those things, SNES Classic pre-ordered, Walmart had 2 copies. Was planning on providing one for John. Canceled by Walmart. Every pre-order that was done.
They screwed you.
They screwed you, John.
They screwed everybody.
I
Why'd they
had it.
cancel 'em?
I got the email through that saying that they're available. I immediately went on. It was like 12:02 in the morning, and of course I was awake.
12:05, they were gone.
Lux has an uncanny ability to find things that nobody else, none of us normal people can buy or pre-order, I should say, and he just magically does it.
A buddy of mine called me the eBay sniper, and I used to get him
Yes.
things for him.
Yeah.
I got him a violin when he wanted. He's an Irish band in Pittsburgh, and his first violin when he wanted to learn how to play, he was he got a really good deal. But yeah, no, I had this thing. I got it. It was in my cart. I even started telling other people to try to order them, and then they were no longer available. But they say it was a glitch. I think they just screwed up for the number
Too
of
many,
pre-orders that they allowed, and then rather
they
than trying to
said the
deal with
link
it,
wasn't even supposed to be released and yada yada yada.
yeah, it was a computer glitch. Right.
Yeah,
I got
so
an
now-
email saying they were available.
That whole situation, I'm very upset about.
So now you can all look
Nintendo
forward-
is famous for underproducing products that we all want to own.
Yeah, you can all look forward to buying them now for $500 from a secondhand site.
They are
Real.
doubling the production for this one over the last one, allegedly,
I just
which isn't enough, but still.
no,
It
it's
has
not.
it has an unreleased game on it. There's a new thing. It's got Star Fox 2, which never came out. They made a game, finished it, and it never came out.
Especially
Is
the
it
Star
that
Fox
bad?
game.
I wonder why that is.
Did they even give you like a bookmark or anything?
I still have my original bookmarks. I have that, Amazon, and Best Buy's already bookmarked for it too. I check it frequently.
Well, just so like, since you pre-ordered, you can be on the next list or something.
Now I'm wondering if they're even not gonna do pre-orders from this point forward, so they don't run into the issues because of the demand. It probably almost crashed their website.
Lux is on the pre-order list.
I did go, like, so many people must have got that. Yeah, I like that list. So many people must have went on there that the Walmart site did temporarily stop working for about 2 minutes when I was refreshing. They didn't realize at 12:05 in the morning, everyone's like, "Woo, Super Nintendo!"
Oh, it's for sale? Yeah, that happened really fast because I saw the message that you had sent. I got on at around 5 after, and they were gone. So there just was not enough.
That's kind of crappy.
It is. And, I mean, it works good for me because I'm second shift, but that's not reasonable. I don't know. It's just not a good situation.
So, I guess, being on the Nintendo topic, I can tangent into a segment that I'm going to call This or That. And we'll go with this edition being a cage match between Link from Legend of Zelda and Mario. But so they have all of their gear. Link obviously with the Master Sword and the Hylian Shield, but Mario gets all of his mushrooms, but he can only use them once. And this will be brought to you by the analytical minds of these nerds who have been playing these games for many, many years. So
wait, Mario gets all of his mushrooms, and Link
he can only use each one once.
Clarification.
Link only gets a sword and a shield.
Wait, clarification. Which mushrooms from which games? We talking original Super Mario Brothers? We talking Super Mario 3D World, New Super Mario Brothers? I mean, if I'm gonna
any of them, so that could be.
No.
Leave it broad. I got it. Then you give me which game then. How about that?
I immediately had one answer, and I completely changed it when you said he has every mushroom.
But you have to think of it, too. If this, with Link, he's got all of his stuff, too.
No, I already got the winner.
Oh, okay.
What's your opinion, Lux? Let's hear
Mario.
And why?
Super mushroom that makes him as big as the entire freaking screen. He just steps on him. I mean, what's he going to do?
Dude, that's not the direction I was going. I was thinking Link will win, but Mario will win on technicality. Because Link will kill him. Mario wins because why? He's got one mushroom. He's got 2 lives.
Yep.
All right.
That's true. There is the reincarnation aspect of Mario.
But then if Link had a fairy in a bottle, then he's got 2 lives too.
Oh, that's a good point because he has the super mushroom. It runs out. He kills him once. Ooh.
It all comes down to how many bottles Link has.
And potions and
But,
stuff.
I mean, fairy in a bottle isn't technically... It's a weird technicality because you got to get the fairy. It's not something you...
I guess, well, Brennan said it, so what does Link have? Does he have the maximum 3 or 4 fairies depending on the game and number of bottles?
Well...
Or in a pouch if it's Breath of the Wild?
I know for a fact, out of all of my Legend of Zelda experiences, I never at one time had 4 bottles filled with fairies. I at max had 2.
I've done it. Link to the Past. No, I did.
Me being an elitist, I never needed them. But
this is the guy that doesn't even take the heart cases. I only got 3 hearts. No. I don't need any more.
I just thought they looked pretty in the bottle.
I brought 3 fish in my bottle. What's up?
I put them on a shelf. Okay, I like watching them like ding around in there.
And so Brady, if you would care to share your opinion on this.
Well, it's kind of biased because I like Link more than Mario. But
how do you?
So I would rather pick Link over Mario just because of my love for the Legend of Zelda.
But you have to remember, this is a purely intellectual conversation based on the facts.
Stay objective.
Mm-hmm.
I think Link would totally win.
Okay, on what grounds? on the half chub you have right now?
Yeah, it's all my brain blood is gone. But just
All right.
I'm just gonna go with Link would win.
That's just your instinct. Link does have an amazing array
Hold
of
on,
items.
I have to ask because in the beginning you said all Link was given was a sword and a shield, but
No.
he has all of his
All
items.
this gear.
Wow.
Okay, but that's the same thing with Mario. All of his gear from all the games or certain games.
It's hard to. We would really have to get into it, and
Because I
See,
mean,
I picture in my head because my favorite Link is Nintendo 64 Link. So I picture that Link versus Mario 3 because that's my favorite Mario.
so Ocarina of Time.
Wow. Well, if you do it based on that, it's Link for me. Absolutely. I mean, fireballs be damned. You have a Highland shield. You're fine.
What you got the fire tunic?
Oh, snap.
but you do it if this is a real life scenario. He's got to put that on.
Doesn't matter. He's got a sword. Mario's got a belly.
No. He wears all three at the same time and just rips them off like a superhero.
Why even rip
That's-
them off? Just keep them on.
That's true.
True.
Yeah.
Where
Cumbersome, but effective.
super heavy
bar.
boots so you can't walk.
See, finally weighs as much as Mario with all three of them. He has the same mobility. I'm going
Plus,
back.
he's
I'm
got
going with
the-
Link then.
He's
Okay.
got the Goron gauntlets and everything. So if Mario is super big, he can just pick him up.
He can even beat Metal
Link's
Mario
OP.
that way.
Metal, you think so? What about just as a closing point? What about Mario with a star?
Yeah,
Oh, well, if he's got a fairy,
Well, so he's got his super mushroom and his star.
who moves?
How
Link's got a reflective shield.
Blink runs away until the star runs out.
What about Mario's increased speed with the star?
He's Link. He's got Pona.
He's got Epona.
All right, so I don't think we've come to a general consensus, but
Link.
okay.
not at
I
all.
think it's 3v1.
I feel
Or are
like
you not picking?
Mario's a contender.
What are you going with, Brennan?
You know, I think 7 out of 10 times Link wins.
That's enough.
Mm-hmm. and to keep this from dragging on too much longer, that's where we'll end it.
All right.
Did Link win? If you're listening and want to chime in on this,
Could you let us know who won? I
Somebody
think you
settle
did.
the friggin' argument.
I mean, I
Okay.
think we voted
I think it was Link.
more for
We
Link.
voted very democratic.
Yes, but frankly, John, your opinion doesn't matter. So Link does take this one
Boom.
on this episode of This or That. Yeah.
I like that.
That was a very successful first segment of this or that.
This or that. Did you guys? You want to try a segment of small but effective?
Do we want
That
to do
is
our
our
very
name.
Yes.
first small but effective segment?
Small but effective. This week on Small but Effective, the item that we will be discussing is the United States Washington quarter dollar. A small but effective piece of U.S. currency. The Washington quarter is the present quarter dollar of the United States of America. The coin was first struck in 1932. The original design was by sculptor John Flanagan.
Okay.
Brennan, that's a penny.
but it's a big penny.
Because we have our video feeds seeing each other, and maybe we'll graduate to that at some point. I think it's probably going to be necessary at some point.
What is this one?
What is this? Can you give me the history of this coin?
I only have one.
There it is.
All right. So I think what did it replace? So let's think about that.
Wait, what did it replace? What do you mean?
The currency in general, I think, will start, and it replaced, as Brady said once, bartering. So the pros and cons of that.
So now you have small metal discs that you can buy your wife with, as opposed to sheep.
The little metal discs that we as humans put value on. So, I mean, how is this quarter worth 25 cents? Why is this quarter worth 25
Oh
cents?
gosh, Here we go. Fiat money system.
Who's on the quarter?
Okay.
George.
George Washington and the All-American Eagle.
Well, it depends on if it's a state quarter or not.
Oh, God.
Well,
oh,
you
my
got
God.
Still got George,
go.
though. Still got George.
Oh, here we go. The current regular issue coin is the George Washington quarter.
I think
Yeah,
John said that many times.
I heard it.
On
I'm
those
sorry.
50 state quarters.
Sorry, I was still, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
No.
Well, I mean, from my standpoint, though, as we mature the segment, what are the next steps? What are the small but effective uses for it?
For a quarter, I feel a quarter is very versatile. You can use, if you can get more than one together, you've got yourself a can of pop, you've got a snack, you've got a very painful game at the lunchroom table if you've only got one. Like,
To play pool at most places, you need quarters. Like
the quarter, I feel like the quarter is one of the few coin currency in the United States that people actually value. Like, people will walk past pennies all day long, but if
Not
there's a
I.
quarter on the ground, you're picking it up.
Hence, I have a giant penny.
very true.
No, I agree. Quarters are, from that standpoint, I was thinking more along the lines of perhaps at a rest station in western Massachusetts, you can play Ms. Pac-Man for about 7 minutes.
Hey.
True.
And absolutely dominate said Pac-Man.
To the point my hand was like cramping up afterward.
Yes.
It was
We were-
epic.
So
was.
we were there. We were there long enough to not smell the bathroom anymore. So
It was right in front of the bathrooms, too.
It was. Yes.
Yes. Our olfactory system become accommodated. I would say other small but effective uses for a 25-cent piece, as it is in the United States. For a rich person to cover their eyes, like when they die, as a really like bling way, instead of using pennies to get across the river Styx and pay.
Boom.
In the 80s. That's a pretty good one. As a very ineffective way to try to throw a lightning bolt at somebody and have something behind it.
We're missing.
Okay.
We're missing a great one. It's for you flip to make decisions.
Oh
Ladies and gentlemen.
my God! The quarter could be the most important thing in the world. It is the decider.
On Brady's topic, do I marry girl A or girl B? I don't know.
Heads or tails, boys?
I'm going to flip this coin to decide on the woman and then use it to pay for her.
You betcha.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
I'm
Quarters
sure
are good because quarters are like the Swiss Army knives of our lives.
They are.
It's
You need a screwdriver? Boom.
an impromptu
long as
game of
you
some
have-
kind.
yes. I
You
mean,
need a spacer? You just stick it in there.
yeah. I like it.
Scratching off lottery tickets. I mean, it just goes on and on.
It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing, and genuinely small but effective.
And I would say, if there are those that are listening, if you have any other small but effective ideas for a quarter, leave them in the comments on Facebook or YouTube.
And or SoundCloud.
What he said.
That one.
All right. Well, that was our first small but effective segment. Also, we're cranking the segments out.
We are. Segmented show.
But
Yep.
all right. Well, I think that's a good place to wrap up.
Is it a wrap? Are we near the end? We're
This
coming to a close.
Yeah. Does anyone else? Sorry, I keep cutting Brennan off.
It's all right.
No one
It's
wants
all
to
right,
be
you know,
that guy.
And they don't, and I'm sure everyone will express their distaste with me being here, through all of our forms of media. But I think that this has been a good chat, and I feel everyone will come away far more
Thingy.
intellectually satisfied. And
Definitely more thingy
yeah, that thingy. Look it up. That's the real
than they were before.
And
Okay.
so well, good. And
You can,
until
uh,
next time.
Until next time.
Until
Please
next
join
time.
us in whatever random increment of time we choose until the next episode of Small, but Effective.
You could find us on Facebook. Follow us there. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
All right, signing off.